talk about exterior foam insulation, and we're going to show you how to put it up. You know, the details are not really in nailing the foam to the wall. The details are in figuring out how to get everything watertight and airtight and high performance before you throw an extra layer on there.
That's right. So what we're actually gonna put it on the wall here. We're gonna do a modified drip edge water table detail that's gonna project out an inch away from the house. It's gonna be not quite a 90. It's gonna be a little bit more obtuse than that, so that it is able to shed water and then come down with a hemmed kickout. And that's because water control is happening at the WRB. It's not happening at the face of the foam. And so we want to make sure that the water that gets back behind the foam, because it's going to happen, is able to get back out of the system. But we also want to protect that bottom edge from UV and from miscellaneous stuff. We're going to put a sheet of Tyvek up now. And a couple things to note. We're using the drain wrap product. We're not using a flat wrap product. And that's because we want that three-dimensional texture. You're all familiar with drain wrap, right? It allows for faster drainage behind the cladding because it provides a small space for water to exit. And this is the most critical, let's be right, this is the most critical layer in the entire building assembly is right here. This is where we control all of the water. We keep it from coming into the house.
The water control layer.
The water control layer. This is an important detail. There's lots of thoughts on, and there are lots of details around how to put a window in a wall or any opening, a door, right? And the method that we're going to recommend is to cut the WRB flush with the framing. Now
that's what he's doing right there.
We're on it right now. The best way to do it is to cut the WRB about half an inch wider than the opening. But that's difficult to do. It's difficult to hold a straight line, and the framing provides a good guide for the knife. So we're going to go flush with the framing. We're going to, after we tape the seams here, we're going to set a pan flashing in the window. We're going to use DuPont's Flex Wrap. I think most folks are probably familiar with the product. It's going to create our pan flashing. It's going to go up the side of the window about 6 inches either side and out onto the face. This is going to let water shed out and not behind the WRB. On the sides, we're going to get 2 pieces of tape, and we're going to lap 2 inches onto the face of the WRB and 2 inches into the framing. And this is going to create an air seal so that we stop that air pathway from being able to get into the jamb opening. Who seals their pipe penetrations? Anybody? Good. Awesome. I wish all of the hands went up, but I think we can all say we've seen job sites where there's a penetration and siding shows up and they just kind of side across it, right? This is another opportunity for air to travel along the side of the pipe and back into the house. So we were going to control 2 things in this move here, and Nick is going to demonstrate. We're going to apply a flashing to the bottom of the pipe. We're going to seal that flashing tape to the pipe itself. We're using the Flex Wrap again, and then we're going to bring it back down onto the house wrap. It's a 2 flashing process. Again, shingle style with a bottom element and a top element, but we are tight to the pipe, so we've air sealed at the pipe itself.
I've seen this called a saddle flashing. Some other people call it other things. He sealed the bottom first before the top because, again, water's pretty good at following the law of gravity, and Flex Wrap is really great at sealing around corners. I think the key detail there is that you seal it to the pipe and then the house wrap. It makes it a heck of a lot easier.
So we're going to put 1 inch of continuous insulation on the outside of the house. It's going to function as a thermal break. And really in every climate zone, there's value to be had from having a thermal break on the side of the house. Whether you're in a cooling climate in the south or you're in a heating climate in the north, 1 inch is kind of the minimum. That's where we should start. You can do more than that. And we are at Minneapolis in zone 6, and then up farther north in 7, we're going to put 2, 3, 4 inches on the exterior of our structures. But at 1 inch, you're only going to make one of the trades a little bit upset. Everything we've done to this point is exactly the same detail that you would have done on any of your building projects, period. There's no deviation at this point. At 1 inch, most of your manufacturers have a detail that allows for standard nailing, a modified nailing pattern, or an elongated nail that allows you to put up siding the same way that you normally did. And other than corners, you're largely the same. Most windows project out from the structure about an inch. So when you put your casing up, you've covered up the foam. You've got a little bit of that window left to butt up next to, and it looks pretty.